Hey guys, this is the new 2025 TRD Pro Tacoma in Mudbath. This is the color of the year, pretty much exclusively available on the TRD Pro trims of Tacoma of the Toyota's new lineup for 2025. Pretty sharp looking color, probably one of the best that they've done in quite a few years. The high vis ones are, in my opinion, pretty awesome, but not for everyone, so definitely a lot more acceptable. I think this will be a pretty collectible color. This is a mid-size pickup truck rolling in around mid-upper 60s in terms of cost. This one was about $67,000. There's really not a whole lot of options that you can add to this truck at the TRD Pro trim. Just like most top-of-the-line mid-size trucks, most things are almost standard. There is some additional Toyota accessories that you can add, of course, but those aren't really tied to the actual core truck value. Originally, these came with 33s on it. I had Falcon Wild Peak 295 75 R18 tires. They're pretty much a 35-inch, and they fit just fine. No real rubbing concerns at all. Another big benefit is that you're getting the full Fox suspension across all four. You got piggyback reservoir shocks in the back, as well as slapper shocks. And then in the front, you have forged upper control arms, as you can see here, and then Fox 2.5 QS3 shock, and all four corners are customizable in terms of firmness and valving. Truck bed is composite. It's actually pretty useful as a 2.4 kilowatt power output. It's just a standard 3-prong, so you can plug in whatever you want, even probably charge an e-bike if you want. I added the ARB bed bar. I think it adds a nice little aesthetic to the vehicle. It's got full power rear window, which is really nice. And then you also get the ARB steel bumper. And then, of course, you have the ARB tow hooks as well, so you can tow somebody else out or get yourself out. You also get a unique exhaust. I think it's mainly tips. It does sound a little bit different, but I don't think the entirety of the exhaust has changed much. I think it's just some of the aesthetics. And then back here, you can actually see the slapper shock right there. But you also have a bump stop down there. And then you have the piggyback reservoir with the Fox QS3 shock. To keep the stock wheels, I think they look really good. And then for some protection, you get, I don't really know what you want to call it. It's not a rock slider because it's only attached to the body. So I wouldn't really use that in terms of like an extreme situation and solely rely on it. But it probably will protect your body a little bit from rock chips and some slight dings. You'd probably want to get some real rock sliders if you're going to go crazy off-roading. One of the big things, and I think there's been a lot of feedback and speculation, is the lack of legroom. And there is basically none. I mean, I don't know who's going to sit back here, but you're not going to enjoy it. That's for sure. For me, it wasn't a big deal because no one ever sits in the back of my truck. But in exchange for legroom, you actually get something extremely unique. These are the Fox isodynamic seats, which has both horizontal and vertical stabilization. It's a combination of pneumatic and hydraulic shock in your seat, and it is fully adjustable. So based on your body weight, you actually tune these shocks, and then it actually kind of makes it like a semi-truck seat where you can choose an off-road or a more firm road setting for tuning and so on, and you can make it more fit for your needs for off-roading. And it's actually very comfortable. It's not really that big of a gimmick in my opinion. They actually work pretty well. Now, are they worth the thousands of dollars that they probably are? I mean, that's up to speculation, but it is a cool feature nonetheless. Now, overall thoughts and feelings. Had this truck for about 60 days now, 45 maybe, something around there. So still figuring out and learning, but overall, I do feel that the truck is a little underpowered with that 2.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo. Again, I think the hybridization really is there to make up for the spool or turbo lag for the engine, because when that turbo is not kicked in and you're doing, like a 0 to 60 type situation, it's not very fast. It is a little underwhelming, especially when you're on the market. You have something like the Ford Ranger Raptor with a twin turbo 3-liter V6 at 405 stock horsepower with a $700 Ford Performance tune. You're looking at about 450 horse. That's going to walk away from this thing very easily. And additionally, for the money, I think you're getting a beautiful looking truck. I mean, it's a Toyota that's going to hold its value extremely well, especially in this color for sure. But if you're budget conscious, maybe the $7,000-8,000 price decrease to get the Ranger Raptor with full front and rear locking diffs, as well as the bigger motor and the substantially higher actual core performance, is maybe a better buy. I'm not disliking this truck at all. I think there's pros and cons to both sides. I think being honest is probably the best policy. It's a great truck. It looks amazing. I think this is a whole different level than the Ford Ranger Raptor. But I do think under the hood, the core componentry of what makes it special, the full Fox live valve versus the 2.5 QS3s, you get the 3-liter twin turbo versus the 2.4-liter 4-cylinder single turbo. Even though you're getting the hybridization, which adds a lot of low-end torque, I think it's around 460, 470 foot-pounds, it's still really probably not as performance capable as something like the Ranger Raptor. Overall, I think it's a really great truck. I love the interior. I think nowadays in 2025, interior-wise, they're all pretty competitive. You know, they all look pretty good. They're all, you know, really modern looking, and they have nice touchy-feely stuff. And especially for almost $70,000, I kind of expect it, to be honest with you. You got your sunroof and all those things. I mean, it's not really something you'd buy this truck for, so I'm not spending a whole lot of time in the interior because it's all nice. You know, just about any truck over $60,000 is a pretty decent interior nowadays. But in terms of overall what this truck is, it's pretty nice. You know, it's a gorgeous color. The aesthetics, this is the most beautiful midsize truck on the market. I'm sure it's going to last a long time, and with more revisions, as this is only the second model year, become more and more reliable. It wouldn't surprise me if in time there's maybe some transmission opportunities. Seems like the 2024 has had quite a few issues, reported issues with the transmissions. And again, I think the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder is a little underpowered, but overall I think it's a really great truck, and I think it's going to hold its value really well, especially in this color. So that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Tune in for more honest reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.